this extra energy that the Earth is absorbing is manifesting one way, is the rising of magma, the expansion, the displacement of magma that the continental shelves are floating on. But then this affects temperatures of sea floors. So then you have situations where ocean currents are slowing or perhaps stalling. So you have the AMOC, which is your Atlantic Meridional Overturning Circulation, the Gulf Stream, for example. The ocean currents, and the oceans being very efficient and the best way for the Earth to regulate temperature, they're slowing down or stalling. This is exacerbating the situation. So what happens is the jet stream is acting schizophrenic. It is trying to take over or help where the ocean currents used to be very efficient. So you have extreme weather. We talked about the hailstones getting larger and larger and larger. It's being documented. We talked about this last 17, 18 years, right as predicted. Hailstorms, tornado activities, especially in areas not known to have tornadoes. The Midwest, we just had, you and I live in the Midwest, we had, you hear in the news, you talk about these high pressure hot pocket domes. Well, we've had like heat index 113 degrees, miserable, absolutely miserable for about 2 weeks. That affects people's mood, it affects crops. In this area where we are, it's so hot, free range chickens aren't laying eggs. So you have dynamics of plants and animals being affected. This all correlates. So this is going to affect crops and food, availability of food, the cost and price of food. This is all coming to a head, and it's not going to get better. It's going to increase and intensify in the years to come.
You're saying that this anomaly in space, which we come around to, show people where we are now. You have a thing which I think is very. People think people think that this thing is coming through like Halley's Comet. No, it's kind of just floats so fast that we can come around. It comes closer and closer to it, and at some point we're going to get really close. It's not going to hit the Earth, you say, but it's going to be more magnetic the closer it gets. Just like a magnet is stronger the closer it gets to metal. Go ahead.
Right. So let me know if you can see.
There you go.
The screen.
I can. It's white.
Okay.
There it is.
Yeah. So on this model, we have this situation. This is in real time, or you can adjust the dates down here to see the location of planets in relation to our sun, or you can grab a planet and move it, and the dates will change down here. So this anomaly would match historical records, if you want to consider historical records like Earth's geology in times past, or what happened in the Great Flood that the texts talk about. So our understanding with field theory is this is an anomaly that can and has entered our solar system and leaves. It's not consistent. It moves. But it would be inbound, and if this anomaly gets close enough, when it gets inbound, then it would start affecting planets, especially the interior planets, your Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. The other planets are affected, but it depends where they are in the orbit. So our points of concern, as I mentioned before, this is more of a review, is depending on where this anomaly is located. It's not large. It doesn't have to be large to be an electromagnetic emitter. But as it's inbound, coming into our solar system, depending where the planets are aligned in this anomaly, you can have greater electromagnetic input to a degree and a lesser electromagnetic
input. So you think it's over here, right where your cursor is? You think it's over here right now, somewhere?
Yes.
Right where your cursor is, somewhere here. And then we're on the other side over here.
Right. So maybe from underneath, like right about where the cursor is. See where Mars is?
Yes.
So if I tilt it so you can see where Earth is. Now I did this before, but for review, I'll grab Earth and spin it. And this is where we're concerned when you get into here.
Right.
See, when you get in here, which is in February-ish, 2026, Earth is close to this anomaly, but the solar system harmonics, look at the planets all over here and the Earth's by itself. So we have that as a concern. And then if you fast forward it again, we have a similar situation where you're coming in 2028. So over the next 6 years, depending on the positions of the planets, Jupiter and Saturn are still, Jupiter is still out of position to help run interference. So the next 6 years, this is of concern. So
what's going to get, there's two big spikes in problems that you think that this will get worse, in February of 26, January, February of 26, and January, February of 28. But still, there's still enough magnetic pull for this to set off the 6th biggest earthquake ever up in the Kamchatka Peninsula that just happened recently.
Yeah, right. And then and we're dealing with, let's see, this is 2020, we go to 2025. So we have this, and we're back in, I'll get close to August.
There you go.
So we're having this, even though the Earth isn't, say, so to speak, astrologically, it's not right on top of this anomaly. We still have all this activity in August. So you can imagine how it intensifies, and wanes, depending on where the planets are in their orbit. Are there other planets as well? Or are there times where the Earth is all by itself? Those are very important points of concern. But the alert has been given for years now. But the next 6 years, minimum next 6 years, will intensify. So what happens to a real black swan event is not from an alphabet agency or orchestrated behind the scenes, let's say by the bad guys. We know that can happen and has happened. This particular black swan event is not going to be controlled by man or science technology, DARPA type or a HARP. No. This is way beyond man's ability. And we're going to see situations where infrastructure is affected, ports, sea lanes, aircraft being able to travel. Because what happens when you don't have 6 or 7 active volcanoes, but when you have 60?
You said that's
above ground. How many? You have 30 or 40 under the ocean floor. These are dynamics that modern mankind has not had to deal with. This will crush any government or the world's economy. There is no fixing this. This will affect industry, supply chain. This will affect food, animal, plant behavior, human behavior, psychologically with the electromagnetic signature that our DNA is tuned to. So we have multiple vectors where humanity will be under great stresses. If you want to refer to ancient texts, there's different spiritual beliefs in your audience. I try to stay neutral, considering the fact of your audience, the broadband audience that you have. But whatever your spiritual philosophy is, there is a component in this that cannot be ignored as far as human cognizant ability. Human consciousness will definitely be affected. It's being affected now with people's behavior. It's going to get worse, unfortunately. This is meant not to scare the audience, but to give you a heads up, to wake up, pay attention to what's going on. And there's some things that I would put 1, 2, 3 on my top list of things to do in preparation for what's coming and what human society. This is probably an event that most likely won't be repeated, of great historical value. And we happen to be living right when this thing is kicking off.
Didn't Jesus say there'll be no time like it ever before and ever in the future?